Hey there, Regina Anla here, and it is time for the AI Spotlight. Today, I want to talk about how to use ChatGPT for data analysis. Our theme this week is about paying attention to your numbers and understanding what they mean to your business. So I set up this little demo data for you so I can actually show you what you can do. Now, the first thing to know is, well, what do I track? You know, the numbers that you want to track are not the vanity numbers, meaning, the number of followers that you have, the number of likes that you get on a post. Those are vanity numbers. If they aren't leading to a conversion or building a relationship, they're useless numbers. So those aren't the numbers we're talking about. We're talking about those numbers of maybe you have a masterclass and 25 people show up. And out of those 25, 5 of them sign up for your signature program. Those are the conversions. Those are the metrics. These are the things that you want to track in your business to see how successful you are, right? If you're not tracking your numbers, you're never going to know, is this working? Is this not working? Is it time to change? So here is a really cool way to do this using ChatGPT. Now, I will tell you, there are all kinds of tools out there right now for doing data analysis. The thing is that they're all different types of analysis. So what you need to decide are, what are those top 3, maybe top 5 numbers that you want to track? So I made some dummy data up, and we're actually going to run and see if we can do a little live fun testing here. So first thing I'm going to tell ChatGPT over here, I'm using ChatGPT. I'm going to say, I am demoing data analysis info for my group. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to put a prompt in, and I'm going to say, here is some data to use for the test. And I'm going to put that into brackets. And I have it right over here in my Word document. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy it over here, and we're going to put it right over here. Now, what am I doing? It is 4 weeks worth of data. Based on 4 weeks of data per set. Okay, so we have discovery calls booked. So booking calls, that's a number you want to track. And then the conversion rate, how many clients, and then the actual revenue that you're getting. So here's some, dummy data for that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this prompt in. And I can hand you all these prompts, but the difference is going to be what your data is. So you can model it, but it's not exactly what you're going to have in there. You're just going to put your information in there. So I'm going to copy and paste that right in here. And here's what I'm going to tell it to do. Actually, you know what? I actually put the data in the prompt. So we're going to take that back up. So here's my last 4 weeks of business data. Week 1, 3 discovery calls, 25% conversion. That was based on those numbers that you just saw there. 1 new client, $1,500 in revenue. So it goes through each one. And the big question for ChatGPT, what trends do you see and what actions would you recommend based on this data? For testing purposes, please assume this is my personal data for my business. Okay. I want to tell ChatGPT, why am I saying I'm demoing this? Because my memory is on ChatGPT. And if I start putting stuff in there, it's going to actually think it's live for me, and it's going to put it in the memory. So I don't want this to go into memory. I just want to say that I'm using this for testing. All right. So this is the big question. What trends do you see and what actions would you recommend? Let's see what comes up. This is how you can use ChatGPT. And these things are really super simple to track, right? So discovery calls are inconsistent. Week 1, 3 calls, 1,500, 2, 5 calls, 2,000. So right away, it's pointing out what's going on with your numbers here. You range from 3 to 6 calls per week, which directly affects your revenue. More calls, more revenue. So it's inconsistent. The conversion rate is holding steady. So that's a good thing. So you're converting 1 out of 4 to 5 calls. It's consistent, but there's room to tighten it up. Okay. And then the revenue mirrors call volume. Revenue goes up when the call numbers go up. Is that a duh? I'm not sure. Of course it does. So weeks with fewer calls, flat revenue. Peak week, 6 calls, higher conversion. Go figure. That's the way it should work. But if your numbers aren't working right and you're not paying attention to them, you won't notice that. You'll just notice, oh, hey, Stripe threw some money into my bank account and, so this is good. But if you're not tracking it, especially like on a monthly basis, you don't know where you're growing, where you're falling behind, where maybe a program that you're using that everybody loved to start with is now just starting to lose some steam, and maybe you need a new program. So that's what these numbers are doing. These numbers are telling you what to do next in your business. So here's some recommended actions from ChatGPT. Aim for a consistent baseline of 6 to 7 calls per week. And then work on conversion seconds, small tweaks in your process, maybe stronger pre-qualification, tightening your offer, objection handling can move you up. So it gives you an example. Tracking lead indicators, calls booked, conversion, and revenue. And then look at week 3, your best performing week. What did you do differently? More outreach, different pitch, more engaged leads. Replicate that. So ChatGPT is spotting that. And all we did was give it this. Here's what we got. We just tracked it. We just put in this week. This week I made, I had 1 discovery call and I got nothing with that call. So there was 0% conversion, no new clients, no new revenue. Week 2, I had 4 calls. I converted one new client, whatever the revenue. And you just track whatever it is your real numbers are. These are easy numbers to track, but they're critical numbers to your business, right? So then what we can do is we can start asking it questions because it's ChatGPT. So I have some demo questions here for you. And let me copy it over here from the Word doc. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask ChatGPT now. And again, I can give you these prompts. You can model them, use them as an idea, but you're putting your data in. So it has to be your real data. If I increase discovery calls by 20% each week, what impact might that have on new clients and revenue, assuming my conversion rate stays the same? So he's going to take that data that he just had. Now he's doing a little analyzing. And he's going to figure out what it is. And look at this, made a nice little table. So ran the numbers, and here's the projection. If you increase your discovery calls by 20% while keeping your conversion rate the same. Highlights. Your client count doesn't jump much in most weeks because of rounding, 1 new clients per week still. Revenue is steadier. The biggest benefit in higher weeks like week 3 is you'd land 2 clients, about 3,400 in revenue instead of 3,000. So it's like, well, that's not quite, you might look at that and go, nah, I want something better than that. So I'm going to have to use a higher conversion. So when I go back up here, I'm going, well, you know what? Maybe I need to increase this by 40% because, it's not really changing much based on the projections. So maybe I need to do something a little bit different here with that. So then the next one is, there's another question here. We're just playing with this right here. And this is the last question. And I'll plop this one in here. So this one says, based on this data, should I focus more on improving my conversion rate or booking more calls to grow my revenue faster? So all I'm doing is using ChatGPT to analyze my data and give me suggestions on what to do next. So, of course, great question. It's always a great question. If you book more calls, your average conversion rate is 25%. Right now, you're averaging 4.5 calls, 1.25 clients, gives you if you raise the calls to 7 per week at that, So here you go. It gives you, if you improve your conversion rate, here's the conversion. So recommendation, short term, focus on conversion rate first. Small improvements give you a quick revenue bump without needing more leads. Then layer in the consistent call volume growth once the conversion is solid, and then that's how you scale faster. ChatGPT is a great business strategist when it comes to numbers. You can't replace a live business strategist like me or whoever it is that you work with, but you can use ChatGPT over here to help you be more consistent with what is going on. So when you think about your numbers and your data, what are you actually running numbers for? And if you're collecting numbers and then doing nothing with them, ChatGPT just made it really super simple for you to analyze them, because I'll tell you, I am not a numbers person. I am a self-proclaimed not a numbers person. Anytime you say numbers, whether it's bookkeeping, these numbers, or anything else, I'm like, yep, nope, I'm good. However, I can easily say, here's how many leads I made, here's how many calls I made, here's the conversions, here's that, which is super simple data, right? So it's not crazy data that's going to blow my number hating mind. But I can go in and just take that, and instead of me trying to do all that analysis and try to figure out, well, what if I raise this? What if I raise this? And I'm sitting here trying to crunch numbers and figure that out, which is that part that I'm not so fond of. I can have ChatGPT do it all for me and not have to think twice. And it gives me some solid recommendations. It's not even like it's giving me some fluff. It's giving me solid recommendations on what to do next with the business. So that's where it's easy to start using numbers. So if you're not tracking numbers at all, this is a great place to start tracking numbers, even if you don't have a lot of numbers coming in. So if you have no numbers coming in, that's still data. That's still, I've got this program, I've got this, I've got that. I've got 5 people in my pilot program. I haven't gotten anybody actually paying into the program yet. And it will give you recommendations on what to do so that you can take all that data and use it to help you scale your business. So that's what I wanted to tell you about today, using ChatGPT specifically for your data analysis. And if you have any questions, again, just always put them below. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. If you have some numbers and you want to run them through, let me know. I will take these prompts. I'll put the whole test scenario into a document, and I'll put it here in the group so that you can download it if you want to model it and use that for your data to get started. So that's what I've got for you this week on the AI Spotlight. We will see you next week. Bye for now.